Hi, I'm Kim Nauman. Welcome to All Things Tea. Today we're in the Empress Tea Room in the garden, and my guest with us today is Christina.
Hi, I'm Christina Jager, and I'm a USF marketing student here at the Empress this summer helping with their marketing.
It's been great. We've needed it. It's been a blessing. We're going to take tea, Christina and I today, tea for two if you will. And we've discovered kind of a fun tea that's new to us, and so we're going to introduce it to you. It is a black tea. It's called Blackberry Sage. Black teas typically are full-bodied, lots of great flavor, as is this one. And a couple of components that this one lends is a little special because you've got the sweet and the savory. So we've kind of been playing with this a little bit to try to figure out just a lot of the fun things that happen with this tea. We were smelling, we kind of dissected it a little bit and then just kind of taken the two components and figuring out then the aroma of this. You've got a sage. Sage typically lends itself to like chicken dishes. So that's kind of, you know, those things are all fun. But it's the blackberries, the beautiful blackberries that are in season right now that give the sweetness, of course, to pies and all kinds of fun treats. So we've dissected this a little bit, kind of been talking about it, thinking about it, closing our eyes and even smelling and thinking about what those things reminded us of those things. So what we'll do is we're going to show you to steep a pot of tea. I brought along a strainer, so I'm going to take that strainer and we'll put it right in our pot, and we'll take a fresh couple of tablespoons of the tea that we're offering today. We like to put it in a container that has a sealed lid. What that does is it seals in the freshness, so that because tea does go stale, and then it also leaves that beautiful aroma lingering longer. We'll take a tablespoon or two. For this particular pot, we chose 2.
And how many cups of tea will you get with each pot?
This particular pot, we're probably going to get about 6 to 8 teacups. You know what, Christina? Before I pour the water in this, why don't you demonstrate the spoon strainer? And she's going to reach in and grab a little bit of the tea. Now she's probably filled it about halfway full. And what that does is when we pour the hot water over that, it's going to breathe. Therefore, the dried leaves are going to open back up. I'm going to set that right back there. Pardon me, someone's calling and I'll diffuse that just a moment. Okay, good thing I got that. That was our local tea distributing Joffrey's, and they're on their way for some more beautiful teas. We'll talk about that later. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour water carefully as the temperature is 212 degrees, and we're going to fill that all the way up to the rim.
And I'll start the timer.
Okay, for the timer, you're going to want to do about 3, maybe to 5 minutes. Timing is very important to tea. We will cap that off, keep all that good hot, fresh tea in there steeping, and then we're going to pour this over Christina's tea ball. Okay, we're going to take a few minutes to let that steep. The importance of steeping is a little crucial. Your water is valuable, you know, depending on which water you choose. The best water is a spring water. We here use a filtered, and it's very good for us. The quantity that we use is important, as we see quite a few people each day. If you're wanting a stronger tea, what you'll need to do is just add more tea. It's not in the timing. Once you over steep tea, it becomes bitter, which is
no good.
No good. All right. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that we should maybe give an etiquette tip.
Okay.
Pinkies in. or pinkies out.
Okay, what do you think? Pinkies in or pinkies out?
I think nowadays you can do pinkies in.
I think she's right. The story goes that the Asian, which is where we get our teas originally, had the teacup with no handles. Therefore, for balance, the pinky came out, adding a little bit of leverage there. And so once the British came in, the English took over that tea for themselves as a society kind of a thing. The pinkies were no longer needed. Therefore, pinkies in, pinkies out.
It doesn't really matter nowadays.
Doesn't really matter. She's right. I'll kind of share another little fun one with you. Is Christina and I are taking tea, and I need to excuse myself, maybe to get another phone call from Joffrey's. You never know. But as I leave the table, I'm going to put my napkin in one of two different places. Well, I guess there's a couple. I'm thinking of another one. On the table, on my seat, on the back of the chair. What do you think?
I think you can leave it on the table if you're planning on returning.
I think she's right. She's so smart. When returning, you aren't going to really want to pick that napkin back up and use it after it's been sitting on the seat. So absolutely, on the side of the table is perfect. I guess at this point I'm seeing our timer's just about out, which means we've probably got a perfect pot of tea. So as Christina steeps hers just a little bit, I'm going to take this. And Christina, I will give you my plate.
Thank you.
Okay. And we're going to pull that strainer out just a little bit and let that drain. And then we'll return that right back to the stand. Alright, she's recapping the lid. Of course, her cup is done. Let's see if we can show you a little bit of that. It's a beautiful color. It's got a honey color, a little bit deep in color. And I will, as I've invited Christina to sit and have tea with me, it's always important to serve your guests first, and then wait for yours. Okay, we're going to have a smell, because remember what we said earlier. This is a fun one. You've got the sweet and the savory in a cup of tea. What are you smelling?
It smells almost like breakfast, like a maple syrup kind of flavor.
It does. It's a lot. It's a kind of a fun thing in that the sage, with the combination of the blackberry, have lent themselves to an aroma much like breakfast. This is a great one. Christina, 1 lump or 2?
I am a 2-lump girl. I like my tea sweet.
Okay, and I'm going to follow her because I'm a little the same way.
And then does it matter, Kim, how you stir your tea?
Well, you know what it does, actually. You're not going to want to take your cup or your spoon and swish it around. You're going to kind of want to move from 6 to 12, back to 6, back to 12, and then to 6 again. And 3 to 4 times should really get you. There's a couple of different sweeteners that you can use with different teas. We've just used a sugar cube. This is a really good one for honey. But if you take cream, again, this is a beautiful one for that because there's no citrus in this. Citrus with the combination of creams or milks tend to curdle. Very nice. Is that good for you?
This is such a delicious tea.
Me too. We've also discovered in this one, because since we've tried this one, we've been hard-pressed to move on to something different. And on an accident, because Christina's such a hard worker and doing such a great job, and this is the tea that we've been drinking the last couple of days, and there was a point that we did it cold, and it was nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
It was very delicious.